Let me tell you the story of Kaelen, a paladin whose golden oaths turned blackened at the edge of Whisperwood, where courage ran thin and redemption thinner still. In ages past, Whisperwood thrummed with living song. Riverlight danced on mossy stones. The treetops hummed gentle lullabies, and a rare peace blessed all beneath its emerald boughs. But then fate's cruel logic marched through in shining armor, Kaelen's armor. He had sworn upon his god's radiant altar to protect life in all its forms, yet it was he, yes he, who let desperation feed recklessness, who forged a sacrificial ritual with trembling hands and hammered pride, all for salvation, all for hope, and all for nothing but ruin. Kaelen returned alone, many years later, through the brambled edge of that same broken forest. Moonlight struggled against fetid mist. Dying branches whispered an endless litany of blame. His once gleaming plate bore pitted rust and almost no symbol of faith save a fractured sun at his breast. His step was heavy. "I thought I could save you," he whispered, lost to memory. "But I only chained you in agony." Decay spread before him. Vines lashed with black veins, sickly motes in the air, and trees whose knotty faces contorted in silent screams. Even his sword, Dawnbringer, dulled in the gloom. With every step, the wood remembered his name. Kaelen, Kaelen, betrayer, bringer of rot, murderer of hope. He gritted his teeth. How many nights had he relived the moment he broke his oath, trading the forest's freedom for a fleeting victory over encroaching darkness? How many times had guilt stung sharper than any blade? He pressed deeper, heart clanging like a funeral bell. Shadows writhed, shapes slipping between trunks, some eyes shining, some hollow. Once he thought he glimpsed a child's rocking horse, half sunk in mud, its paint peeling like shedding bark. He remembered long ago how villagers wept when Whisperwood withered, how his fellow knights turned their backs on him, how penance felt forever out of reach. "Is there any atonement deep enough?" Kaelen mused. "Or is this my curse, to wander rot and memory until I too am nothing but dust?" A shiver ran the length of his scarred spine as a spectral figure materialized before him. A translucent elk crowned with antlers of living fire, eyes phosphorescent and sorrowful. This was no mere remnant. It was the guardian spirit of the wood, sundered by his own hand. "Why come back?" the spirit intoned, its voice rippling over leaf and loam. "What more can you take from us?" Kaelen bowed his head. "I come to return what I stole, but if it is more blood you want, I do not resist." His fingers tightened on the hilt of Dawnbringer, though despair dulled the motion. For a moment, silence fell. Then the elk's eyes flashed. "You saved your people by damning your home. Redemption is earned, not given." And with that, the ground stirred. Hands of spectral earth tore themselves free, ghastly guardians, faces writhing with betrayal and wrath. Kaelen fought, but each blow to these shades felt like an old friend's accusation. "This is your legacy." He bled from spectral wounds, feeling the rot seep in, chilling his bones. After all these years, Kaelen thought, I still cannot outrun the shadow kneeling at my side. But in his heart, a stubborn ember clung. It was not hope, for that had long withered, but duty, stubborn and raw. With a desperate invocation, Kaelen called upon his fractured faith, channeling what power remained. Light stuttered, barely pushing back the gloom, as he forced his way to the clearing, the heart of Whisperwood's blight. There, roots melded into a grotesque mass, pulsating with black energy. Faces flowed through the bark like oil on water, pleading, furious, lost. It was both beautiful and terrible, a soul in torment, a sacrifice unhealed. Behind him, the forest's ghosts stood, watching in sorrow and judgment. Kaelen fell to his knees. "It's me," he said simply. "I am the rot. Let it end with me." He plunged his hands into the cursed roots, feeling his life force, his regrets, his penance, all drawn into the core. Shadows writhed. But the woods fought back, pain, memory, anger, not letting him vanish so easily. And in that struggle, Kaelen saw he could end the forest's pain by severing the heart, erasing the soul of Whisperwood itself, turning the living land to dull stone and ash. Or he could surrender, let the blight consume him, giving the forest a vessel in which to grieve and perhaps slowly heal. His breath was ragged. The faces in the roots pleaded, "Save us. Let us sleep. Let darkness claim what light cannot mend," he sobbed, voice cracking. "Forgiveness is not annihilation." So Kaelen made his choice, not with sword or spell, but in humility. He gave himself entirely to the forest's agony, offered every ounce of sorrow and contrition. The roots tightened, the blight pulsed, and with a shudder, light flashed, cleansing but not erasing. The pain remained, softened by understanding, a dawn after the storm, not a sunless world. His body faded, his mind joining the ancient spirits, tangled among moss and memory. The forest stirred, a little green among the blackened trunks. Birds dared a trembling chirp. Whisperwood would never be as it was, but neither would it vanish. Its guardian, its penitent, remained ever watchful. They say if you pass through Whisperwood, a broken Paladin walks beside you, guiding lost souls, tending grief, and teaching that redemption is not forgetting, but healing. So I ask you, would you, in Kaelen's boots, erase the pain or carry it with you, so a wounded world might feel hope again? Let us know in the comments how you would have faced the heart of Whisperwood. And if you wish to hear more tales of heroism and regret, legends woven in faith and shadow, subscribe, like this story, and join us again by the fire.